Hello everybody, this is Tenzin Gopal aka Funk Blue. Namaste from India. I'm a sound visual artist, and for this short tutorial we are going to learn how to use the direct selection tool. The shortcut is A. I'm currently using Illustrator, and yes, let's get into it. So we'll open up a new document, which you can also use the shortcut Control N. You create a new document, and we are just going to stick with the default settings here. One cool feature of Adobe Illustrator is that you can change this unit section here. So you have points, you have picas, and you have inches, millimeters, centimeters, and pixels. And the big difference between Photoshop and Illustrator is that Photoshop is based on pixels purely, whereas in the case of Adobe Illustrator, the entire objects are based on vectors. So vectors are very different from pixels. So it's used for usually web designs and areas such as that, and even for printing, usually we prefer Adobe Illustrator because then you can enlarge or play with the size basically. So let's get into how we can use the direct selection tool. All right, so for this session I'm just going to use a random uh, object. So we'll make a rectangle. All right, so if you go here, you can select which color fill you want, or you have an option here as well. So let me see which color. All right, I'm going to go with this purple, pinkish purple color, and maybe have a border as well so that you guys can see the what is happening. We'll make the border a little contrast to the filled color, and maybe thicken the borders, right? All right, so we have, let's make it 7 point. Okay, and now with selection tool we usually select the entire object, right? Okay, this is one object. We will create one more object a little different from the first object. All right, here, and maybe we will change the, so as you can see, with the selection tool we select the object individually. All right, now when I select the square, we have a, let's zoom in so that you can see. So to zoom in, you'll have to press Alt and scroll in to zoom in, and you can see these guidelines, right? And you can see these points. It shows anchor, anchor, and path, right? And if you want to move your page around, you press the space bar. You get this hand icon figure if you press, and then, but you'll have to press space at the same time. Okay, we are going to change the color of this sphere ellipse shape. So we have used the selection tool. Okay, again we'll click on the fill, change this maybe to a little darker, and for the outline maybe we make it interesting by adding a different color, maybe light cyan. No, let's try green so that it's, you know, visually in contrast, and it will make the process easier to understand. Okay, so these are two. So with selection tool usually you can just, you know, if you want to choose multiple things, you can just click and then drag and select the two objects together, and then you see this ruled guide lines selecting both of these objects, right? And if you see, with selection tool you can still, you know, play around with the anchor points and stuff like that. If you press shift, it is going to play with the size proportionately, and if it's alt, again you see how everything is, and then control. Alright, now let's get to the main subject, that is direct selection tool. Okay, alright, and now with direct selection tool we can individually select. So I am just clicking on the canvas, now I am selecting here, and once you have the direct selection tool, you come to see that, you know, the anchor points and their arms handles are available. Let's go back to selection tool. See, it's gone. Now with direct selection tool, you see these anchor bars, anchor arms. I call them anchor arms, you know, because this is the anchor, and then, you know, they have like these two arms stretched out. And the interesting thing is, now with direct selection tool, you can click on the anchor point and then individually play around with the points. So so this looks like an egg, right? So you see the possibility of direct selection tool. So I'm choosing this. Super fun, right? And the other cool stuff is also that you can press alt and individually play around with the arm. Yeah, stuff like that. And I'll maybe take this in, and here, play around here. When you are in direct selection tool mode, you have some options here on top on the toolbar, you know, things like convert. So you have a, right, so let us assume this anchor point, right? It's cornered and it's at a 90-degree angle and it's sharp. So if you click on this anchor point and click on the curve, suddenly you have a curve. And if you press on the corner icon, you get a corner. So this is very handy if you want to, you know, let's say you are building a organic shape from a geometrical shape. This is very handy, very handy. I use this a lot. And see, now suddenly, now the entire, you have a organic shape that is coming up from, okay, maybe we take this down. And then if you have not watched my previous videos on how to start with Adobe Illustrator, please do check the videos out. It will give you an introduction of how to use the tools that are there. And yeah, so we can also drag this. Maybe we'll keep it here. Okay, now this is behind, so we'll have to bring it in front. Yep, it's in front. And all right, looks like some, we go back to selection tool, maybe we make it a little smaller. Right, okay. So you see how from the direct selection tool, the entire, you know, evolution from from just being a ellipse and a square, we are able to perform, you know, this sort of shapes. Let's try again. Maybe this time we will have a line. No, maybe we'll draw out something. So we are going to take the paintbrush, shortcut is B, and let's say I'm just going to draw something like this. Yeah, looks like a nose, right? Yes, it is a nose. And we again go back to the direct selection tool, go, And then as you can see, there are already some anchor points which are there by default. So you can click on the anchor tools and make it maybe a little bit. And if you see, like if you're not pressing the alt button and you're trying to move the arms, what I call, right, and both of them are moving simultaneously, so it's very handy to have the alt button, so that you know. Okay, we'll do it again. Oops. Right, there's an anchor also, so we'll zoom in and press. All right, and maybe we'll change the thickness of this, and the other cool stuff is that, you know, you can also do, if you press on this small uh, white cornered icon, you will get a lot more options of the tool, right? So if you look at the selection tool, you have no cornered white cornered thing there, but with others tools like eraser, the pen tool, line segment tool, the shapes, the pen tool, you have options. So again, we are going to go back to selection tool, drag this over here. Okay, maybe the nose is too big. Let's minimize it. All right, okay, and voila, we have a nose. And maybe let's do a, maybe the nose is bit too, so we go back to selection tool, direct selection tool, sorry, and then you drag it, maybe make it a little bit smaller, I guess. We bring this in here and then go back to selection tool, maybe bring it here, and then all right, so we have a nose. And let's now make the eyes. Okay, we'll repeat the process again. We will choose an ellipse tool. If you press shift and then make the circle, you are going to get a perfect circle. If you are not pressing the shift, you are going to get like a elliptical circle, right? So let's press shift and okay. And the other cool thing is, if you select this and you press alt, you can actually copy again one more circle. And what we want to do is, we want to select both of these circles. You press shift and maybe we fill in with something bright which can be in contrast. Okay, we'll also add a border, make the border a little thicker, 5. Okay, so now I choose this. All right, here, and maybe one here. All right, we'll select this entire composition, move them to the center. Oops. All right, and get this maybe a little on top. This is a very random tutorial just to show you how things are done in Illustrator, especially using the direct selection tool. We are doing everything here with direct selection tool. And yes, I think this is about it. We again can, you know, we can play around. Maybe we can make it a little bit like this. Alright, we make it here. Maybe drag this, so you press alt and then you press here. press this one here. I really enjoy using the direct selection tool, because for my illustration works it does help a lot. You see how we can transform the object or a geometric shape into an organic shape. Alright, so we'll keep that here. We'll move this one maybe a little bit inside. You see the magic? Alright, maybe we drag this a little bit here and then make this, we'll go to corner. Okay, maybe here also we do something. Alright, and then yeah, you can select everything and then you group it so that you know whenever you're moving. Wait, okay, didn't seem like it grouped everything. Grouped. Selection tool, everything is selected. You see the highlights, right? And then you press and then you, okay, seems like it's ungroup. Let's try again. Group. Now it should work. Yeah, right. So now whenever you move something from this object, everything is going to be grouped together. So, and if you want to work individually on the specific object, you can also, right? See, now I can again take it off, or I can bring it in. Alright, okay everyone, this is for enough for today. This is just a very simple tutorial to give you an idea about what direct selection tool can do, and its advantages over the selection tools. And yeah, I hope this has been a helpful video for you, and just, you know, experiment and yeah, enjoy. And before you head out, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share my videos. More videos are coming out, and cheers from India.